Hello folks, welcome to the Race to World First Daily Recap. My name is Kexman and I'll be your host over the coming days and possibly weeks as I bring you all the news from the race in easy bite-sized chunks. Be sure to follow me so you don't miss out on any of your daily race recaps. It's been 10 months since the last race graced our screens, so let's not waste any more time in getting stuck in with what has been happening. The leaderboard on screen comes from Raider.io, and be sure to head over to raider.io/RWF to see the leaderboard live. In first place, we have Liquid on 4 out of 8. In second place, Pop-Tart Corn Dog, 3 out of 8. XD coming in at third on 3 out of 8. And as I'm recording this, we actually have a new 4th place member as Echo have claimed Sikran, making them also 3 out of 8. In 5th place, Melee Mechanics on 2 out of 8, alongside Honolulu, Vodka, Vesper, Nerfed, and Blue Shoe, all also 2 out of 8. So there's the current standings, but just how did the day pan out for the guilds involved? With the raid finally dropping for the folks over in North America, all eyes were not on Liquid, but on Melee Mechanics. They decided to immediately jump into Mythic and claim world firsts for both Ulgrax the Devourer and Bloodbound Horror. With the first 2 bosses dead, Melee Mechanics have certainly made a name for themselves, with guilds like the Early Shift and Vesper previously claiming early world first bosses. It will be interesting to see how they finish in the final standings of the race. I want to give a huge thank you to Adept from Melee Mechanics for allowing me to use these clips of their world first kills. With the initial bosses looking to be relatively easy in regards to the race, all thoughts were on when Liquid would decide to enter Nerub-ar Palace, and just how many bosses would fall before this North American juggernaut. Our questions were soon answered as Liquid not only claimed world second on Ulgrax and Bloodbound Horror, they then went on to claim world first Sikran in one pull. With plenty of room left to spare before the soft enrage, it was evident that more bosses would fall before Liquid with the amount of damage they could output. So confident they were in this damage, they flew straight to Rashanan with a 5 healer setup. The Overgrown Bug was a tougher challenge than previous bosses, dying relatively deep into the enrage cast, but they still fell in one pull, leaving Liquid to split back into heroics with the current number 1 spot secured. After Liquid swept through the opening bosses, we saw guilds such as XD, Pop-Tart Corn Dog, and Vodka to claim kills on the first 2 bosses, rounding out the top 5 for both Ulgrax and Bloodbound Horror. XD and Pop-Tart Corn Dog then moved on to Sikran, giving us our top 3 before the NA evening was over. NA evening eventually became the dawn for the EU, and with it, even more splits. Both Echo and Method awoke with the knowledge of the first 4 bosses being, respectfully, free for their raid team. Whilst we saw heroic splits from both Method and Echo from the morning into the afternoon, it gave an opportunity for other EU guilds to get themselves on the leaderboard. Leading the charge were the folks in blue, Honolulu, with quick kills on Ulgrax and Bloodbound before moving on to Sikran themselves and claiming EU first, World 4th on the captain of the Sureki. A late update into the recording of this first day, we have seen Echo step into Mythic, easily taking Ulgrax down before moving on to an incredibly clean Bloodbound Horror kill, followed by another 1 pull kill on Sikran. The current question isn't whether or not Rashanan falls before Echo, but when they will fall. And as I record this, we also have Method stepping into Mythic for the first time, so it's going to be interesting to see just how far they push into Nerub-ar as well. With both Overnax and Kai'Veza looking to both be significantly more difficult than their predecessors, all eyes are on the coming few hours. Will we see Echo and Method push onto those bosses, potentially giving Liquid more information for their raid day? Or will we have to wait for Liquid to come online before we see 2 new encounters? And just how hard will we see teams like Instant Dollars and Honolulu push to try and break into this established top 3? Only time will tell, so be sure to join me, Kexman, tomorrow for your daily Race to World First recap.